Before we continue, if today is your first time watching our videos here at Wami, please kindly hit on the red subscribe button below this video, and also don't forget to click on the bell notification icon so you never miss any of our latest updates.
Good evening, wonderful people, great Biafrans, wherever you are on this very planet Earth that Chukwukike created for the habitation of man, where we are born and where we shall all die. I welcome each and every one of you to today's very evening, exceptionally special broadcast. The time now is 5 minutes past 7 p.m. in the glorious land of Biafra, where the blood of IKONSO have watered the ground for the tree of freedom to germinate and to take root. I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you. Regardless of where you are, a lot of people are listening to us this evening across various platforms. I mean, very many people are listening right across this very planet Earth. It is a very sobering day for each and every, in fact, for a couple of days now, I would say, since the enemies decided to cowardly attack somebody sleeping in his father's compound. As I ask you to join this broadcast this evening, morning, noon, or night, depending on where you are, I will also encourage you to ask those who are around you to endeavor to tune in to be part of this very special broadcast. We are live on this very day, the 25th of April, in the year of our Most High Elohim 2021. So if you're listening to me right now, if you're hearing my voice, this is a live presentation going out to the entirety of humanity. It's a very sad day, I must tell you. A very sad day indeed. But I'm sure that the angels in heaven will be rejoicing because he consults with them. My name is Nnamdi Kanu. I am the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, the largest mass movement of its kind anywhere in the world. I am the director of Radio Biafra and Biafra Television. And by the very special grace of the Most High Elohim, a servant of the wonderful people of Biafra, I have never ever felt this bad before, not even when my parents passed. That is why there will be vengeance. And I'm going to pray to the Most High this evening, as we always do. Chineke nna nke pụrụ m ihe niile, mma mmadụ gị Chineke. Nke ọma mere anyị ekele gị, nke ọjọọ mere anyị ekele gị, onye dị nsọ ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi. Nara mkpụrụ obi IKONSO n'udo. Ma nye anyị onwe anyị bụ ndị dị ndụ ikikere, mere anyị amara gị, gbaa anyị ume, ma nye anyị mma agha gị nna nke ebere, ka ha rabụ ndị niile tinyere aka n'ọdịdị IKONSO, onye ime eluigwe, ị ga-agbara anyị ọbọ n'isi ndị dị etu a n'otu n'otu, agbanyeghị ihe ga-esi n'ime ya wee pụta. Eluigwe ga-ada, ọ ga-ada, n'ihi na ị bụ Chineke nna. Anyị na-arịọ gị eze ebube dị ngọzi, na IKONSO ga-akọwara gị ihe ọhụrụ tupu o wee malite ije nke ọ ga-anaghị esi na ya wee chigata azụ ọzọ. Anyị onwe anyị bụ ndị ọ hapụrụ, ndị dị ndụ ga-ahụ Biafra n'ihi IKONSO nwụrụ n'aka ndị iro. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị eze ebube dị ngọzi, ka ịhụnanya gị niile na gị na ọmịiko gị, ka iwe were ya wee kasie anyị onwe anyị obi n'ụzọ pụrụ iche, n'ihi na o were anyị anya na ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye na-eweta, ọ bụ naanị gị na-ewere nna nke igwe. Ndụ anyị niile nọ gị n'ọbadara aka. Anyị wee na-arịọ gị ka ọnwụ niile nke anyị na-anwụ hapụ ịbụ nke efu, n'ihi na ọkụ n'ozi dị nyere anyị ka anyị na-aga, n'ihi na ikpetamazụ Biafra ga-abịa. Ndị ọjọọ niile a ga-ekpe ha ikpe. Anyị agaghị echigha azụ. Ọ bụrụ uche obi gị na anyị niile ga-anwụsị, anyị anwụọ n'ihi njem a nke anyị na-aga. Ya kwanụ mmasị gị, onye kere eluigwe maka elu ụwa, na anyị ga-anọ ndụ wee hụ Biafra, anyị ga-anọ ndụ wee hụ Biafra n'ezie. Anyị wee na-asị mma dịrị gị Chineke nna, otuto dịrị gị onye ime eluigwe. Anyị na-akpọ isi ala nye gị ọka aka, onye ọbụla anyị ya na-achị. Of any of these governors, you are an enemy of the people. IKONSO was not killed during any shootout or confrontation IKONSO was killed in his village, in his kindred, in the middle of the night, not on the battlefield. Because on the battlefield, there is no way any detachment of any army or any police or any idiot can defeat him in battle. He was undefeatable. He drove the Fulani people away from Imo State, did gallantly well. Ever since ESN was launched, I have not come across anybody or a group of people telling me that their lives hasn't improved as a result of the presence of ESN in our land. We no longer have rampant roadblocks as we used to have. People can now go to farm, not minding the two isolated Dave Umahi-sponsored Fulani attacks on our people in Ebonyi State. I am asking the Southeast governors and every other fool in the zoo, why was it there was no hoo-ha about Fulani people chasing the governor of Enugu State away inside Enugu City with AK-47 assault rifles? It only merited a glancing mention in the zoo newspapers. Nobody talked about it in any great detail nor depth. In our own land, Fulani are armed to the teeth. The army and the police are supporting them. Every blessed day they are being supported by these people. Therefore, we must fight this very fight. And we are going to mourn IKONSO in a very special way. Very, very special. You know, in those days when, let's say, for instance, the Oba of Benin dies, for instance, I'm giving you an example that is more universal so people can understand what I'm saying. As soon as the Oba is dead, headhunters will go into the forest and the Oba will be buried with heads of people. IKONSO is more than an Oba. And we are going to mourn him in a very special way. We are going to bury IKONSO in a very, very special way that history will remember 2021. History will remember 2021, the year that the enemies of Biafra came into our land using our own people to kill a defender of his people. IKONSO was attacked in his village. Hope Uzodinma and his Fulani masters cowardly and wretchedly killed a man who was unarmed. His fight was against Fulani terrorism in our land. And they killed him because he refused an offer made to him by the same Hope Uzodinma. As if fortuitously, a few broadcasts back, if I'm not mistaken, I mentioned this very fact, that Hope Uzodinma approached IKONSO, our commander in Imo State, offered him money, a lot of money, and asked him to switch to Ebubago. IKONSO is a gallant Biafran. He said no, that he will not do it. Some of you can go to my last broadcast, if I'm not mistaken, I mentioned it. And that is a clear, unequivocal vindication of IKONSO. These are men that fought for their land without receiving one dime in payment. He was the head of a volunteer army under oath to defend the land of Biafra. And these cowards wretchedly and idiotically in the middle of the night, as cowards always do, to sneak up on him. They said it's a combined team of police, army, and DSS. And as I said earlier, IKONSO will be buried in a very special way, I show you. Not even the burial of the Oba of Benin will be as remarkable as his own burial, I assure you. Those in the know will understand what I'm saying. As if I knew, and heaven put words in my mouth to alert the whole world to what Hope Uzodinma had intended. You know, we are Biafrans. It's about time that the whole world hear about us once again in a very special way. Our detractors and our enemies have brought death to us. And we are not going to fold our arms and just watch them pick up our people from car parks and motor parks and highways and all the rest of it. All of you who are, should I say, conduits and vehicles for Fulani Janjaweedism in our land, I have nothing to say to you. But that thunder you have called down from heaven is about to strike. You know, people sometimes they say to me, oh, don't say what you're going to do. And I said to them, they are very foolish. I tell you what we're going to do, and then we'll do it. So when it starts happening, you know it's coming from us. So you will know. I mentioned IKONSO during my last broadcast, and that is a clear vindication of that very brave soldier. I understand that a band of very hungry Nigerian journalists have been trotting out the narrative of their Fulani masters that there was a shootout. There was no shootout. Absolutely none. He was killed in his house. He was killed where he was sleeping in the middle of the night, having subdued Fulani terrorists in Imo State. He subdued them. And Mietiala sent their houseboy, Hope Uzodinma, who hastily arranged for a few they call them security operatives, to come to kill a child of heaven. IKONSO NwaChineke. Before I came live on air, I sent out a tweet that the whole world may know. And it's a quote by Richelle E. Goodrich. And I'll repeat to the hearing of the world this evening from where I am. Vengeance is a monster of appetite, forever bloodthirsty and never filled. I repeat, vengeance is a monster of appetite, forever bloodthirsty and never filled. IKONSO is in heaven, and he is going to be avenged. My God, he will. Shall avenge him. Everybody with a hand in the death of IKONSO are all dead people walking. All of them bang on. Because of IKONSO, what is happening today in Ekiti State is not happening in Imo State. And I'll read it because I read a comment by somebody who said it's only the Southwest that is now in a bit safe. That the North is on fire and the East is raging. But I want to remind all of these people what is happening in Yoruba land that they do not know. Because of IKONSO Eastern Security Network, what they are doing on the ground in Biafra land, this type of news emanating from Ekiti State cannot be written about Imo State, where he commanded men and confronted terrorists. I'll read for you. This was published by Guardian newspaper. For those of us who are in the habit of underestimating the sacrifice that we are making every blessed day to keep their land safe and secure, I want to let our people understand all over the world, those who are listening, that because of the likes of IKONSO, this type of news is not being written about Imo State. It is about Ekiti State. And I'll read it for you. We can no longer go to farmers cry out in Ekiti State. Guardian newspaper publication. Farmers in Ekiti State have raised concern over their inability to go to farms due to attacks and destruction of crops by herdsmen. Is this being written about Imo State? Do you know the reason why you're not hearing this type of news in Imo State? It is because of IKONSO and his gallant men under his command in Imo State. That is why what Fulani people are doing today to Yoruba people in Ekiti State cannot happen anywhere in the East. Impossible, it cannot happen. They understand it very well. And for you to put into proper context the bravery, the gallantry of these men in ESN, they are fighting 3 enemies at the same time. 3. And no army can even fight 2 enemies at the same time and survive. They are fighting 3 enemies and they succeeded in the objective. As I gave them, do not allow any Fulani terrorist activity in Imo State. It did not happen. They are fighting Fulani terrorists. They are fighting Nigerian army, which is essentially Fulani terrorists in army uniform. That's all they are. They are fighting also the police. In fact, I should say 4. And they are fighting the Fulefus in our land. Hope Uzodinma and go. We did not go after Hope Uzodinma. We were only facing the enemy in front of us. Fulani terrorists masquerading as headsmen. And today, nobody can say, unlike before, that there are Fulani headsmen attack anywhere in Imo State. Is not possible because of the bravery and gallantry of all these men. All of you, or some, not all of you, some of the Fulefus, those in Ohaneze, and the idiotic governors that we have. The reason why your state is not like Ekiti State is because of Eastern Security Network. Because it is here. A traditional ruler, the Alajowa of Ijowa, Ekiti, Oba Emmanuel Omokwariola, during a meeting with the National Agricultural Land Development Authority, NALDA, lamented that insecurity was one of the major problems facing farmers in the community. Are you hearing such a thing about Imo State? Or Anambra? Or Abia? All these things are things of the past. In Ebonyi, we defeated Mietiala and they went home. Omahi is now begging them to go home, that they can come back in the future when the coast is clear. Now, do you understand? So you want your fathers and your mothers who go to the farm to go and farm to be like those farmers in Ekiti State, or to be like farmers or have the same experience they were having, should I say, or they had a few years ago when Fulani were all over, should I say Fulani terrorists were all over the place. All of you have forgotten. You have all forgotten. And today, somebody who brought out himself to defend his land was killed for doing so. What Hope Uzodinma was seeking to achieve, Hope Uzodinma and all the idiots in Ohaneze and Atron and Dushi, what they want to do is to fight Eastern Security Network to pave the way for Fulani terrorists to come in and take over our land. That's what they're trying to do. Some of you are too idiotic. Some of you are very, very idiotic. But in the end, we shall see. Those of them that try to tie our campaign to rid Fulani terrorists from our land, those of you who are mischievously trying to tie it to our agitation for freedom, I have news for you. It was Britain that gave independence, United Kingdom now that gave independence in peace, I would say, to a couple of black people that they assembled together and named Nigerians. Then, as now, Nnamdi Azikiwe agitated. Obafemi Awolowo agitated for freedom. They are both from the south of the zoo called Nigeria. They asked for the same thing that we're asking for now. The only difference is that they were asking it from white people and we are asking it from black people. These are the things that we are making absolutely and abundantly clear this evening, morning, noon, or night, depending on where you are. We asked for the same thing that Azikiwe asked for the same thing that Awolowo asked for at the hands of white people. Self-determination. The white man gave it to them without a fight, without calling them, of course, in the beginning, they saw Zeke as a terrorist. It goes with the territory. Had Azikiwe and Awolowo decided to go to war with the British, do you think they would have won? I'm sure the answer is no. Had Britain had Britain chosen to remain in Nigeria in perpetuity, can anybody stop them? Of course, we know the answer to that. As somebody quite rightly commented, that is the problem with black people, this patent evil that is within us. What we are asking for from the East is no different from what the nationalists asked for from the white man before the granting of independence. So what they are saying, for those who support the extrajudicial execution of people, so had the United Kingdom, of course they had the power then, had Britain then, had they decided, if, should I say, they decided then to kill every person in the zoo they created and named Nigeria, what do you think will become of you today? That is why I maintain that black people do not reason properly. I have said that from day one, and I maintain it. The same thing we are asking for today from black people, fellow black people, so to speak, were exactly the same things that black people asked for from a white man, and it was given to them without mass, or should I say massive bloodshed, or the mass killing of people. That is the difference between white people and black people. I keep saying this all the time. But Judgment Day is coming. Judgment Day is coming. They know how stubborn we are. They know we are not going to go back not one inch. They understand that until this freedom is given to us via a referendum, should they, of course, become amenable to this very sensible idea that the people must determine for themselves where they wish to belong to. And I must say this evening, as I've always said in the past, that people are suffering, people are dying. There is a very concerted effort to distort the truth and always change the narrative to suit the line that the government wants to trot out all the time. And the people who are accomplices to this reign of evil in Nigeria is their media houses. The media houses in Nigeria is a very big shame, I must tell you this. They were reporting that IKONSO died after a firefight with the army and police joint patrol. Nobody told them, they never investigated to ask the police or the army. They did not go to his house to go and kill him where he was sleeping. Where was the firefight? With who? And that is why everybody who is a front line Commander in ESN must be very, very careful. They will go to your village and they will bribe your villagers. They will give them money, as was the case with IKONSO. Just tell us anytime you see him. That was all they did. The idiots called somebody, a special senior assistant to Uzodema, to say that, yeah, IKONSO is in the village. He came to Awa. And they sent the army and the police to kill him. Some people collected money to betray his location because he came to his father's house, into his village, that he has been fighting to protect against the ravages and excesses of Fulani Janjaweedism and terrorism. There he was betrayed in his father's compound, in his own land. These cowards came. Cowards they are. For only one man, with everything they had with them. And that is why there will be no forgiveness. Some of us understand exactly what the Nigerian government is trying to use Nigerian newspapers to do. And I must warn once again Yoruba journalists. They are the problem. I want to ask Yoruba agitators for freedom to warn their journalists. Yoruba journalists they are evil, beyond evil. People are suffering and dying today in Nigeria because of Yoruba journalism. Evil brand of journalism. And because of that, I want to remind them what is happening in Ekiti State in Yoruba land today. Because of the evil that is Yoruba journalism in channels, television, in Punch, in all these newspapers, up to and including even Vanguard, even Sun newspaper. You journalists are evil people, evil, even worse than politicians. You always toe the line of the government, lying and deceiving people. And because you are lying and deceiving people, that is why today in Ekiti State in Yoruba land, people cannot go to farm. You are in Abuja lying, defending the line being trotted out by Lai Mohammed. You are in Lagos, you're writing junk, proscribed, outlawed. In Ekiti State, they are outlawing your people in Ekiti State. Nigerian journalists are defending the Fulani. They are part and parcel of this effort to destroy indigenous populations. And as these Yoruba evil journalists are writing their junk every day in channels, television, in all these useless media houses, Ekiti State is being taken over by Fulani terrorists as punishment for your lies and your deception. Yoruba freedom fighters must rise up now to deal with their journalists because they're evil. They were instrumental in killing the NSAS protest. Yoruba journalism, evil, tribalistic, and wicked journalism they practice in Yoruba land. Evil beyond evil. They will only promote you if you are one of their own. Very parochial. Even worse than Fulani. Even worse than Fulani in Asorok. Yoruba journalism will kill all of you. They lure you into a sense of security, telling you about 2023. Maybe Tinubu will go. It's our turn. Meanwhile, in Ekiti State, the Fulanis have taken over your land in Ekiti. Some of you are refugees in Benin Republic. You know me, I speak the truth, always, regardless of the consequences. We are warning them to change from their evil ways. Yoruba journalism is responsible for the decay in the governance that people are experiencing in Nigeria. All these, not just Europe, I think all of them. If they can take brown envelope from Satan, believe you me, they will write about the holiness of Satan. Gutter journalism. Channels, news, television carry the headline. They did not say suspected. They said IPOB, their sources, that IPOB attacked the home of Hope Uzodimma. Sources. Anytime it comes to IPOB, Yoruba journalists will not use the word alleged or suspected. They jump in straight. It's either ESN or it's IPOB. And they think they're doing it in order to spite us. That's what they're doing. That's what they're thinking. But they don't know that they are sacrificing their own land and their own people. Look at Ekiti State. The same thing you did in the past and you lost a lot and you have not learned anything. Yoruba journalists can never learn anything. The same idiotic mentality was the reason why you lost a Lorin to Fulani Caliphate. You are carrying on from where your ancestors left off, from a Lorin. Afonja. You have just simply carried on your spiteful, vindictive nature. Is the reason why Fulani terrorists are in Ekiti State, making it impossible for you to go to the farm. But the IKONSO that you're writing about so disparagingly, because of IKONSO, there is no Fulani terrorist headsman in Imo State, where he comes from. But you from Ekiti in Abuja and in Lagos writing rubbish against a child of God. Fulani are taking over your land, but you will never learn. Because that propensity inside you, that drive to be parochial, to be very tribalistic, to be evil, can never leave you. That defines who you are. You can never rise above this your pettiness to try to be objective for once, especially the idiots in channels television. We have those fools as well in BBC, but don't get me wrong. That is sometimes I don't even know BBC one channels, which one is worse. They cannot go and ask the police, where did you find the IKONSO? Where was he? When you killed him, where did you meet him? They are there, somebody will write and say, there was a shootout. They want to sound big. There was a shootout. If you claim you know where our camps are, why don't you go and go inside and see for yourself? You need to be sneaking about in the middle of the night, using informants. As I said, they have called down the thunder. They will experience it very, very soon. Nigerian government is using Nigerian newspapers to keep all of you quiet until Fulani will overrun your towns and your villages as they're doing to Ekiti State today. They are trying to use their deceptive Yoruba media to demoralize the people, to make you turn your back towards Eastern Security Network that have so far made it possible for you to go to farm in peace in Imo State, where IKONSO comes from. They know that ESN is invincible. They just got lucky, that's all. IKONSO went to his father's house, having driven away Fulani from Imo State, went to his father's house to go and sleep, and they came there to kill him. They just got lucky. I can assure you it won't happen again. Never. Won't happen again. They think that by lying against this man of God, IKONSO NwaChineke, that somehow Yoruba media, you are serving the purpose of Tinubu. Tinubu will win in 2023. Oh dear. They use your media in Nigeria to work on your minds, to twist your mind, as CNN have succeeded in doing in America. People who should ask questions discover the truth. They cannot do it. If the army now go about and kill innocent people in Biafra land, they say, oh, they're ESN. They'll just place a call to a Punch newspaper editor or channels editor. It's ESN. Yeah, it's ESN. Unknown gunmen. Oh, it's IPOB and ESN. These guys, they have murdered sleep, I tell you. How did people actually know that those they are killing are part of ESN security architecture? Anybody can be killed now and they brand you ESN. I remember when I was in detention, a lot of Nupe kids were rounded up around Bida and dumped in DSS dungeon for nearly 2 years, some 4 years. Anybody they see in the north, if you raise your voice and you say that what we are going through is not good, they come in the night and they abduct you and they brand you Boko Haram. And you know that the zoo, Nigeria, you know those that run the zoo, Nigeria, they're all very foolish people, all of them. After all, you don't have any light, so let me not even go there. They have the same mentality as Yoruba journalists. They never learn from history. Yoruba journalists, they never learn. They learned nothing from history. I expect every Yoruba journalist to just sit down and ask themselves this question. How did we lose a Lauren to Fulani? How come there is an emir answerable to the caliphate, answerable to the Sultan of Sokoto, sitting in Yoruba land instead of an Oba? Any day they ask themselves that question, I'm sure they will repent. Yoruba journalists, any day you sit down and ask yourself this very simple question. How stupid were we to concede a Lauren to the caliphate? Any day you ask yourself that question, believe you me, you will change from your evil ways. It was because of Yoruba and Nigeria journalism at large. Of course, BBC became very late. That was why they killed Fela's mother. Fela is a Yoruba man. They killed his mother. They used Yoruba media because a Yoruba man was in charge then. Obasanjo, a very evil man, I must tell you. Obasanjo, one of the most evil people that Satan ever created. Lucifer. That man is evil, beyond evil. The same people that went to Odi under Obasanjo, people were massacred because the Yorubas were enjoying under a man they never voted for. They buried the story of Odi massacre. They went to Zakibiam, the same thing. Slaughter, wholesale slaughter of entire villages in Zakibiam. Still under Obasanjo, mind you. Nothing was said. Dear me. And under this reign of terrorism from the Janjaweed, Mpo massacre, Obibo massacre, Shia massacre, Shia Muslims in the north, massacre, Lekki Tollgate. Who do you think are the people responsible for making sure that you no longer think about all these atrocities? Nigerian newspapers, the media houses, evil people. Evil beyond evil. They brought their nonsense to write about IKONSO that defended Imo State against Fulani Janjaweedism. Unlike Ekiti State, where Fulani headsmen are still terrorizing them till tomorrow morning. And they are killing us everywhere. Their bandits are killing us, their army, their police, their navy, air force, all of Fulani killing people all the time. And all Garba Shehu could say is people are reporting killings as if it never happened before. This is the mindset of the people you're dealing with. You know, sometimes I wish that our people kind of abandon all these idiotic sentimentality. He's talking about my people. Because of that, you cannot see the truth anymore. Look at Gorbachev saying that people dying is not news. It has happened before. So you get on with it. These are the people that came with the Aruga. They came to conquer your waterways. They are now coming with Fulani settlements everywhere. Some of you still cannot reason very well. You are like Hausa peasants, I keep reminding you. The same thing you're doing today, the same thing they are doing today. Yoruba journalists, we are the same thing that Hausa peasants did many, many centuries ago. Look at where they are today. And as you can well imagine, are you hearing about Hausa anymore? Is it not Fulani now? They've taken over Hausa land. The same thing shall happen to all of you that are so foolish as to not to join this very crusade to free all ethnic nationalities trapped in the damnable zoological republic for the benefit of Britain and the glory of Fulani. IKONSO was a brave man. At least in Imo State, are you hearing about Fulani headsmen did this or did that again? It's down to him. It is down to him. Zoo media, they are evil. Very, very evil. Buhari and northern governors meet over insecurity. Insecurity where? In the north. In the north. They met over insecurity. The people that created the problem are claiming they are meeting with a fake Buhari from Niger Republic. That the media, instead, I keep asking myself the type of God that made these people that practice journalism in the zoo. I want to ask them a question. What is wrong with you people interrogating the fact that this man has a floppy ear, a pomo ear? We can't even investigate that. Not for one single day. Why is it that it doesn't trouble you that a man who was speaking his mother tongue before, Fulfude, can no longer speak it? Journalism in the zoo. They met. And as usual, you know, they're very clever. As they are busy ravaging Plateau State. You know, Fulani, I don't know why people fall for their tricks and their games, you know. Honestly, I don't know how they managed to do it. Fulani have been ravaging Plateau State. But you know how clever, like they need to go on. The only person they could find to be the chairman of Northern Governors Forum is Simon, a Christian, Lalong of Plateau State. To give the world the impression that there is one Nigeria. After all, a Christian is the chairman of the Northern Governors Forum. After all, is it Audu, one other idiot from Upper Benue, is the chairman of Arewa Consultative Forum. Do you see how people fall for their games and their gimmicks? Do you see how foolish that we become sometimes? Do you see how the Fulanis, with the help of Yoruba media, have managed to twist our brain that we can no longer reason properly? The same man who is the chairman of the Northern Governors Forum, where he's doing chairman, Simon Lalong, is losing territory every blessed day to Fulani terrorists in Plateau State. All that concerns him is to be seen dining and whining with the other Janjaweed governors. That's all. He's the chairman. What concerns him is his title and his office, not the welfare or well-being of his people. The same type of nonsense that we are experiencing. He's having meeting with them because of insecurity in the north. Insecurity that who brought about? Who brought about the insecurity in the north? It is the same Fulani. The same people that proscribed and declared IPOB a terrorist group. Because they know that we are the only people fighting them. It's only IPOB that is fighting them. Let us be honest about it. It's only a few days ago that our brothers and our brethren woke up in Yoruba land to start to agitate properly, as it should be. IPOB is the obstacle. And Britain advised them long time ago, those people are they are the only obstacle you have. They are the only people stopping you from dipping the Quran in the Atlantic Ocean. Britain told them, proscribe IPOB, and they did. With the help of the same governors they claim today are meeting in Enugu. The same thing they did to me, they did to IKONSO. After meeting with them, and after feeling that I was talking to human beings, I went to my house. The army came to kill me in my house. Just like that. And had they succeeded, I'm sure that Punch newspaper, Channels TV, all these evil, wicked, satanic Yoruba journalists, they will write, there was a shootout at Kanu's compound. Shootout. And you're telling me that God will forgive black people? I don't think so, to be honest. They proscribed IPOB because we are the only obstacle on their path, and they understand it very, very clearly. But in their own land, in Fulani land, it is only terrorists and mass murderers who are being promoted. Because you're told, the only thing that the DSS, their so-called DSS, their secret police is good at is abducting innocent people. That's all they do. Do you know that in Nigeria, before you become a minister, you go to what is called DSS screening? Now you understand the reason why they have Fulani in every key strategic security position. Everywhere you go to, only them are occupying the highest office. Do you know that Pantami, that terrorist, who is your communications minister, he will tell you, bring your BVN, you all go queue up, you bring BVN. Give us your name, you give them. These are terrorists collecting your data. Oh, sad, sad people. Do you know he went for screening? I was having a sip of water. He went for screening and he scaled through. DSS said there is no problem with him. A terrorist, though. Why did he scale through the screening? Because Fulani terrorists are in charge of DSS. That is tasked with screening every political appointee, or should I say minister, before they are sworn into office. This is the government of Fulani, Miyetti, Ala Janjawi, the murderers and killers. They protect themselves. Now, I want people to reason with me. Compare the treatment that Pantami, who is a well-known terrorist and terror sympathizer, with how IKONSO was treated by somebody they claim is the administrator of Imo State, his own people. And I wonder if these governors actually have any brain in their skull. Sometimes it baffles me. Look at how the Fulanis ganged up protecting their own, including their so-called presidency, which is a collection of Fulani irredentists in Asorok. After all, Buhari is no longer there, he's a dead man. Can't you actually learn from the Fulani the way they do things? They are always defending their own. The only time they find fault in anything is only when that thing is being done by outsiders. With them, Fulani, there is no fault whatsoever. And you can never learn. In your own land, you're the one receiving 4,000 naira every week to be an informant. Whereas in Fulani land, they are the ones grooming terrorists to come and take over your land. But you're busy informing on somebody defending your land from the same terrorists that have the intention of killing you. IKONSO NwaChineke. In Fulani land, Pantami and all jihadists that are in government. Look at El Rufai. El Rufai, governor of Kaduna State, came out and told all of you stupid, foolish Nigerians, told you to your faces, I went to Niger Republic, I went to Cameroon, I went to Chad, I went to go and give money to Fulani people so they don't come to Southern Kaduna to kill you. All of you are just there clapping for him, the next president. They said one preacher went to go and see him. They went to kill IKONSO, but a terrorist is a minister of communication in Nigeria. They found him out And his people are defending him. Yoruba journalists are defending him. Oh, God. Now we know all those people, they're saying there's the shoe shine, nail cutter, all of them. Now you know that they were all sleeper cells. They were oh God, how foolish our people are. Over the years, for nearly 30 years, they were everywhere. They told you, we want to sharpen your knife, we want to repair your shoes, we want to cut your nail. All these were spies, Fulani spies. And now they used Mietiala with their cattle as an army of occupation. And in the process, killing and maiming people and forcibly occupying our land. That was why they came up with Ruga. Some of you have no brain, you know, you Nigerians. And now they have the army to back them up. As if there was any doubt before as to the role the Fulani army was expected to play in advancing this Fulani conquest and Fulanization agenda. They even went and brought Fulani terrorists and put them in the army direct. And as all these things are happening, people are just pretending as if life is normal, as if there is one Nigeria, as if everything is okay. Now, we have not come to that yet. We have every justification to fight the police and the army. That's why I said I want to go to Hague. When we get there, we will ask the judge presiding over the case. If the army of Netherlands, the army of England, were to recruit terrorists today to add into their own army, will you trust that army to defend the people? Simple question. And I'm sure the case will be thrown out. Now you understand. So we don't even know who we are fighting. Now we have their foot soldiers who are Fulani terrorists with their cattle, Yetiala, coming in. We are fighting them. And we have Fulani terrorists in army uniform pretending they are enforcing the law, killing us as well. And Yoruba journalists are in Lagos writing junk, defending them. Nobody has ever interrogated the fact that what are terrorists doing in the army and police? But IKONSO defending his village is the one that deserves to be killed. I'm sure they even use the army to intimidate politicians as well. But what Fulani is doing today, they have done before. It is in their DNA, they can never stop. Fulani expansionist tendencies and conquistador mentality is there and will always be there, if in case you don't know. They can never change. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Fulani will never, ever change, not in this life. So you people are in for a shock. Do you know the only thing that is saving us is this prayer we pray every day, that all our enemies, let that hand they have used to poison us, may they inadvertently also put it in their mouth and become contaminated as well. The only thing saving Nigeria, to be honest with you, is the heroic exploits of Eastern Security Network and Janjaweed bandits in the north. Those, because they don't know where the boundary is. They said, come to Nigeria. Nigeria is your own. So they left Timbuktu. They left Gambia. They left Futajalon, and they came. Some of them were stopped in Yobe, some in Taraba, some in Benue, some in Plateau, and from there they started. Nobody. And will remain in that mess as long as your journalists keeps on writing the junk that they have become accustomed to. As they were talking about killing IKONSO that did not kill anybody, any civilian, but drove away Fulani from his land. Students were being abducted from a university in Kaduna State. They asked the governor to pay ransom because they were mostly, of course, they were Christians. They were killed. No one has gone there to level the village near the university. No, you don't hear about army operation or sting operation, no. No. Confirming the development, the Kaduna State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Aruwan, said the remains of 3 students were found on Friday in Kwanan Bature village, in the Koshan Coastal University, close to the university, where they were abducted and killed. And your army, the only thing they're doing is looking for people defending their land to kill. Courtesy of your governors. Courtesy of your governors. Honestly, I had intended to preach a lot today until the passing or the brutal, senseless, idiotic, and cowardly murder of IKONSO filtered through to us. Filtered through to us. Very, very sad indeed. And they have not stopped at that. They are same Fulani bandits. They have kidnapped a medical doctor and abducted worshippers in a church in Kaduna. And you're talking about one Nigeria. You're asking ESN not to do. So what you want is for ESN to fold our hands and they'll start abducting us in our own churches, in our own land. Is that what you're telling me? It will never happen. That was what IKONSO fought and died for. Even cows, foreign cows, that is, cannot even live in the zoo. I think some of you are aware of the story making the rounds. I think it was, I don't know the state that reported all the horrible smell that welcomes you to Africa. You know, Oyibo cow, Selense brought up on clean grass and vaccine, foreign cow, not used to all this nonsense. Do you know as soon as they offloaded the crate, it was kind of about the newspaper from the US, this cow took in Lagos air, stinking air, and said to itself, my God, what am I doing here? I might as well go back to the US. The cow broke loose from the crate containing it. This cow never made any noise in America. No, maybe he thought he was going to maybe Arizona or California. And when the cow, even cow, ordinary cow, upon landing in Nigeria, said, no, to hell with these people, I'm going home. The cow bolted from the container, destroyed the container and came out. And everybody was on the run. It's here, drama as cow imported from US breaks loose at Lagos airport. Who wouldn't break loose? That is to tell you that black people are lower than animals. I've been telling you this. An animal from US cannot stand Nigeria. Cannot stand Nigeria. That is some Nigeria that people are saying is one Nigeria. He is our country. Let's unite and be one. Nama cattle from US. A United States Nama cattle was in Lagos and said, I cannot stay here. Cattle. That is where some idiots say, I'm proud of my country. A United States cow cannot stay in Nigeria. It broke loose. Zoo. Our nation is bleeding now. The same Fulani defense minister. This is something I want to oppose Odema, George Obiozo, all these people that had a hand in the killing of IKONSO. I want them to understand this very carefully. Your so-called defense minister said you cannot kill bandits because they are innocent before proven guilty. Defense minister of Nigeria. But IKONSO, how did you even know he committed any crime in the first place? Did he commit any crime? If the answer is yes, which court sentenced him to death? You went to where he was sleeping and you captured him where he was sleeping. Why did you not take him to court? Did you organize a trial for him very hastily when you arrested him? Of course, the answer is no. Extrajudicial killing, which is execution, because he is innocent. Which court of law tried him? Or was he tried on the pages of newspapers based on the propaganda and falsehood being peddled by Asorok and Hope Uzodinma? Where? Guilty of what? What's his crime? What is the crime of IKONSO? I'm asking Hope Uzodinma. Now, the defense minister said that bandits in the north, Fulani killers from Mali, from Futajalon, from Senegal, from Gambia, Fulani people from Niger Republic in Nigeria killing people should not be killed because we don't know if they're guilty or not. According to the defense minister, go and Google it. Yoruba journalists, go and Google it. You will see it there. May Lucifer have mercy upon your wicked souls, because you're all going to hell, evil people. He said our nation is bleeding, according to the defense minister. And as somebody quite rightly pointed out, he doesn't even know the meaning of a nation, because Nigeria is not a nation. Nigeria is made up of many nations, forced into one country by British colonial masters and being perpetuated by their slaves for the economic benefit of the United Kingdom. I think I must thank Dr. Ogwelaka for pointing this out. I think it's very important that we reason through this. Nigeria is not a nation. Our nation, Nigeria, this nation, and they claim they have PhD, they claim they went to school. Do you know the dictionary definition of a nation? Nigeria is not a nation. It is a contraption, not even a country. That is something for some of us to have in our mind. Everywhere is Fulani. Mind you, defense minister is a Fulani. Those unwilling to forgive Pantami or Pantami, whatever they call the idiot, you are the problem. For saying that a terrorist should not hold a ministerial position in Nigeria, you are the problem according to quote unquote presidency of Nigeria. What does that tell you about these people? Are people doubting what I said about the defense minister? Go and Google it now. What is it about bandits? He said that bandits should not be killed without trial, that everybody deserves trial before, but they want and kill the IKONSO without trial. Those unwilling to forgive a Fulani terrorist, they are the problem according to Fulani presidency of Nigeria. And all of you are shouting one Nigeria, as if you're demented, especially Yoruba journalists. Very, very sad indeed. Very, very, and most of them claim they're educated. What? I don't know what is wrong with them. I have no idea what is wrong with some of them. May Elohim have mercy upon their soul. These are the same people. Remember clearly, they asked the so-called presidency, Garibashehu, who is, I don't know if he's acting president, so I can lay curse on him. I don't know if he is. Do you know what he said? They asked him a question. He said, Kemi Adeoshun, you know, the former finance minister that forged her a certificate. I think it was NYSC, because I know she studied in London, East London University. I know that very clearly. The former finance minister, Kemi Adeoshun, they asked them a question. They asked Garibashehu a question. He said, no, that forgery of certificate is worse than being a terrorist. That's what he said. Forging certificate is worse than Pantami's comment on terrorists. Can you believe that? And you useless Nigerian zoo animals, you are clapping for him, for Garibashehu. Now, if certificate forgery is worse than being a terrorist, I want to ask him a very simple question. How about the forgery, Buhari's certificate forgery? That was when the Fulani went in for the kill, using intimidation from DSS, from the army, from the police, everywhere. But Buhari forged a certificate, which is worse than terrorism according to the same presidency. Buhari forged his own certificate in 2015. It's all there. With the help of Abakari. It was Yoruba media at the instigation of Tinubu that buried the whole story. The case went to court. The judges said, how can you say somebody who is a major general in the army did not have school certificate? That was it. But that wasn't the question. The question is this certificate being presented to INEC original or fake? How can you say that somebody who is a general in the army a first certificate? According to Nigeria's law courts, if forging certificates in the case of Kemi Adeosun is worse than being a terrorist, how come Buhari forged his own certificate in 2015 before he died in 2017? That tells you all you need to know. To keep Nigeria warm is a task that must be done. Something that Gowon said many years ago that led Maxwell Chooks to write very movingly, and I quote, "If you don't see anything wrong in Nigeria, something is wrong with you. If you think that Nigeria is normal, then you are not normal. You are abnormal. All of you that see Nigeria as normal, you are all abnormal." And somebody also lamented, of course. Do you know one very funny thing about all these politicians and those of them, the affiliates we have, where we come from? Only yesterday, Boko Haram was attacking the hometown of the so-called hard man, the police inspector general in Yobe, in Gaidam. The hometown of the so-called Inspector General of Police, Fulani, Osman Baba Al-Kali. People were attacking his home. He did not send soldiers nor send police because they were in our war. Are we them and I want mama killing people, innocent people. That is Nigeria for you. No wonder the zoo has overtaken Congo as the country with the worst access to electricity in the whole world. Zoo in the whole world, the worst access to electricity. There is coal, there is oil and gas, there is sunlight. From coal, you can build thermal power stations as they do in China. From the sun, you can solar panels, of course, everywhere. And from oil and from gas, however you want it, you can generate electricity. But in the zoo, none. Because the Fulani have tied your future, locked it up and padlocked it more or less, and threw the key into the ocean. That is why all of us are floundering. And that brings me to Okezi Ikpeazu and some of the other useless, idiotic governors you have in the East. Okezi Ikpeazu was quoted just a few days ago saying, "We are demanding an apology over the crimes against Ndibo," according to Okezi Ikpeazu. That was what he said in that very Vanguard newspaper publication. Then Okezi Ikpeazu, a very simple question. If you knew all these things, why did you go ahead to finish, even to invite the army and police to come and finish those that survived the war? When Python Dance, these people, army and police, came to my house to kill me, they invaded my home as they did to IKONSO's home. They took away all the things in my house, went to Okezi Ikpeazu and was showing it to him as trophies of war. They went to war in Isama Faruku. They came for war in my house. And some of them were promoted in the army, some from brigadier to major general. Their tour of duty was Isama Faruku, Nnamdi Kanu's compound. We went there. We went to fight a war. We didn't see him, but we went to fight a war. And we killed 28 people in Okezi Ikpeazu's office. So he knew that a great injustice was done to Biafrans, yet he invited army and police to come and kill those who that survived the war. Because I'm a survivor of the war. I was born a Biafran in the middle of the war. I was born a Biafran. I survived the war. Okay, so invite the same people is asking to tender apology, invited them to come and finish off those who are left. Anyways, the zoo, what do you expect? They keep raiding our land. The governors only have strength when it comes to the killing of their brothers and their own sisters. That is the Igbo hey, they love it, including Wike. When it comes to the killing of their own people, but any time the Fulani are ravaging, killing, raping, pillaging, they will never hold a meeting. Have you noticed it? Look at all the Ozo-Wan massacre, Nimbo massacre. Look at all of them. Anambra, Ayamelo massacre. Never. Not one single meeting. When it comes to the killing of their own people, they call bishop, they call Ohanes, they have a meeting. What does that tell you about these people? What does that tell you about these people and all those that are supporting them? Their strength is in the killing of their own people. Today, they're holding a meeting in Enugu, government house, security, the burning of Hope Uzodimma's house. But Enugu State Governor, Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, you went to where Hausa people are trading because it is illegal, of course. You want to redevelop the place. They call it Hausa. You know, when Fulani, they're very clever. When they want to commit atrocity, they hide under Hausa immediately. Hausa people being attacked at Ibarapa. Hausa people, this is Fulani. Janjaweed, the real stuff. In Enugu State. Now, I want people to consider this for a second. Do you think that if Umahi or Ibazu or any of them, or Obiano, imagine that Obiano went to Ayamalum, for instance, and he went to Onitsha market, or maybe Newi, and ESN was there, brandishing assault rifles and chased him away. Do you know what will happen? Nigeria Air Force will level Newi. It will not up to 10 minutes in Newi they will level it. But Fulani people, now listen to this very carefully. Fulani people in Enugu chased away an Igbo governor in Enugu. The people instrumental, these are the people that always invite the army and police to kill their own people for asking for referendum. But the Fulani chased them away with a gun inside Enugu city. They did nothing. 82 division is there. The Fulani police commissioner is there. Nobody went to rescue the governor. I want people to understand how evil the governors are in the East. I want you to understand it. I will ask you again. Can you imagine what will happen to any place where any sitting governor is confronted by men with arms? What do you think will happen? But the thing is that this thing happened inside Enugu, where you have 82 division of the Nigerian military, the people that carried out the raid on my house. Who gave those Fulanis the AK-47 they were carrying, with which they used to chase away a sitting governor? You know, they say we hate them. We don't hate anybody. It is their behavior, the way they behave. If you understand these people, no single soul will follow any governor anywhere in our land. Maybe out of hunger, they will. A sitting governor was chased away by a Fulani armed men inside Enugu. 82 division did not respond. The Nigeria police did not respond. Now, let us go back a little bit before now. Remember the MNA massacre that happened last year? MNA massacre, you remember it? Were those people carrying guns in MNA? Did they threaten anybody? The answer is no. But the army came, DSS came and killed them. Just because somebody said that this could be IPOB Biafrans. But in the same city, in the same Enugu, in broad daylight, Fulani people chased away the governor with AK-47. 82 division did not come. DSS did not come. the police did not come. Now tell me how you can love such governors. Just come explain that to me. What we need is action. People keep telling me all the time we need action. But if we are not disciplined, we cannot win. Action comes with discipline, a lot of discipline. We cannot be fighting or prosecuting a war with multiple enemies and we lack discipline. We cannot do that. Please, very, very important, we cannot afford to be ill-disciplined. We cannot afford to be ill-disciplined. That is why discipline is key. Under one unified central command. Under one unified central command. I remember something that I'm not about discipline, but I'm just telling our men on the ground about the need for discipline and calm head. Very, very important that we inculcate that into our thinking. Now they are killing us, they are arresting, they are abducting all over the place. People are not talking. But of course, very, very soon. I don't want to go into details, but we shall see what is going to happen very, very soon. We shall see. We shall see. We are in serious mourning, I tell you that. We are. Terrorists are in charge and they're killing innocent people. And your so-called governors are there pointing out their own people to be killed. Whereas Fulani men in our land with AK-47, not for one single day have we heard that the army confronted them or the police. Not one single day. But the sitting governor is more than comfortable to have his own people killed. Now they are meeting, but it's too late. Way too late. As you know, no dialogue and no discussion. We are all going to die. On this very day, this very sad day for me, very, very sad indeed, I couldn't possibly continue to preach. IKONSO is in heaven, watching over us right now, and willing and wishing us to go ahead to finish this very work that he was a part of. We shall honor him in a very great way. Nigeria will remember the death of IKONSO. Forever and ever, they will. So will the world. I thank you all for listening this very evening. As we continue to mourn IKONSO, vengeance will no longer belong to Elohim. It shall belong to us, temporarily at least. But from me, from here, a very sad evening.